logged into my library app to see when this was going to be due because I knew it was due soon. It's due today. Only on page close to 100. I just have to lock in, I think. Hello. I just got home from my job. It's like 4:40 something, I don't know. And to be honest, I really want to read. I really want to read. But I just know that I'm tired enough that it is going to result in a nap. I know I'm gonna fall asleep. And I'm like, am I in the mood to fall asleep though? Do I want to watch TV and then stay up and then cook and watch a show with my husband and then read at night? But reading at night also sucks because that's like, I feel like I have such a little time when I go to bed during reading time. You know, it's like I'll read from like 11 to 11:30 and pass out. I don't know. Reading is hard for me. Is reading this hard for everyone else? Because I swear it's so hard for me to figure out how to read because it doesn't give me physical energy. It gives me a lot of like mental and emotional energy, but physical? Depleted. Also, I forgot to mention the book that I'm reading, what the heck it's about, Black Cake. It's a little bit of a struggle to figure out how to describe this because it happens between two periods. What do you call that? The story happens where you're in modern day, but then we flash back to decades before. That explains how modern day is possible. Basically, it starts off with this brother and sister. They're in a bit of a rift. They have obviously been estranged. They are reunited by, I think it's their mother's death. I think they're cleaning out the mother's house, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've read the book. It's been like a couple days. And their mother reveals to them that they have a sister, or had a sister. So then we go back into the sister story seemingly a while ago, and we're getting background on the sister and what the heck is happening with the sister, but we also don't know like what the heck is this rift between the two siblings. But I guess the sister's story and explanation and how the mother ties into the sister, because the mother like left the sister to have the two children that are currently in a rift. It's like, I don't know. I'm enthralled by it because I think it's very fascinating and interesting, 60 pages in, but it's hard to explain because I haven't touched it for a couple days. So we'll see what the heck is going on, and hopefully I can add some details or not. I don't know. Hello. So, I haven't been reading this weekend. I think the last thing I said was that I was going to read on Friday. It's Saturday at 11 p.m. I don't even feel bad about it. You know, sometimes I feel bad about the fact that I don't designate enough time to reading, but I really am trying to be more kind to myself and prioritize resting time and leaning into what feels good. So you know what? Whatever. We're just going to cut to the fact that now I have been allotted some reading time because I'm going to be reading as my husband is doing the dishes, and I love to read in bed, and I'm gonna be happy about it. My husband and I just finished the movie Heretic. That was crazy. It was so good. Okay, I'm gonna get to reading. We are page 72 of Black Cake, catching up with the modern day siblings that are estranged. And it's so odd because they seemed to be semi-close before the estrangement. We are on page 89. I want to make it to 100 before I fall asleep. And then hopefully I'll have the energy to wake up tomorrow and read early before me and my husband go out shopping. We're just like going to be thrifting and stuff. Update on the book. There's more context as to why the brother and sister and their modern day family have drifted apart. Benny seems to be the main kind of catalyst as to why that started. She is either pansexual or bisexual, which is not the main reason. Bisexual, dropped out of university, caused a whole entire rift in their family. Then they didn't speak for multiple years. Their dad died in that time, and so cut to the modern day, which I think I already talked about. They're finding out about the sister that they had, and everything is just
I love to read about a complicated dysfunctional family dynamic because there's just so much material there to go off of. Oh my god, there's so much good material. So we're gonna see what I think about the next 10 pages and see what's gonna happen, and then hopefully I can go to bed and wake up. Logged into my library app to see when this was going to be due because I knew it was due soon. It's due today, meaning it just turned 12, and so it's due basically the next day, but like today. And I'm only on page close to 100. I just have to lock in, I think. I can't renew it. Also, I just tried to renew it and it said it's on a hold request. So if I can't finish it today, I'm gonna have to turn it in a day late. Just because, like, I'm not waiting to finish this book, which is so selfish. I'm not promoting this idea because it's bad. It's selfish. I have to finish this book before I turn it in. Dang! Oh my god. Okay. Last night I said, let me lock in. I was on page 90 something or 100 something, and I read until 4 a.m. to get to page 200. So, I took it seriously, but that might not have been the healthiest version of lock-in. Like, stay up like a teenager, as if we have teenage energy. So I'm gonna try to do my best to read as much as I can today, but my husband and I are also going out, and then we also clean today. So the odds are not really in my favor, but regardless, we're gonna try our best. We have this yogurt. Okay. There's somebody's spouse dies. One of the spouses did not take it well and also would like to die. And this is just really hard to read as somebody who is married, who has a spouse. I can't even imagine that feeling of living your life with somebody, much less like this story to this extreme. The husband and spouse know each other so well, only know certain parts of themselves that they've shared only with themselves, that it's so sad. This book is actually really hard. Not hard to read, but this book is actually just really tragic, but in a very good way. I'm enthralled, but it just is like, can bad things just stop happening for a second? And we find out more about the sister. I don't know how much I want to spoil, but basically their sister was conceived in a non-intentional way and given up for adoption forcibly. Not forcibly, but coerced into adoption. And so the mother is just telling them that they have a sister out there that she couldn't find, basically. Kind of the rest of the book that I'm waiting to figure out what's going to happen is, are the brother and sister going to mend their relationship and then get back into each other's good graces so that they can find their sister? Or, what the heck? I don't know, like, what the heck is gonna happen? I don't know. Okay, final concluding thoughts on Black Cake. My first very strong initial feeling about Black Cake is just the theme that generational curses will continue to follow you through generations, whether or not you do or don't know about them. Covina went into her daughter's life as somebody who runs away and somebody who is not accepted by their family. Not to say that that is necessarily like a generational biological pattern that you can, that like is 100% attuned to biology. Like some of it just simply is nurture and your environment. But like the patterns of Covey versus her daughter, very interesting. Also, I do want to say, as somebody who is adopted, and there are themes of adoption in this, it's very fascinating to me to see the perspective, like even though this is a fictional story, to see the perspective of parents grappling with, one, the adoptive person giving, well, the biological mother giving her child up for adoption, how she was, you know, kind of coerced because she was in the most horrible situation where she did not really want to give up her daughter but felt she absolutely had to, and then the agency kind of preyed on her to give her daughter up and made it feel as though it was for the best. But it's so hard because you can understand why she gave up her daughter, but then of course it just leads to like years worth of guilt, decades. Oh my goodness, I think as somebody who constantly is thinking about adoption, is constantly seeing stories of adoption, I think this one really did it well. Whereas I feel like some other adoptive stories, I'm like, that's not even real. That's so dramatic and corny for no reason. But this truly felt like it was hitting the grief part of what happens when you go through adoption, but it's a story of a loss and grief. I think the length was good. There were some moments where I was like, why are we being introduced to like 5 new people? But the 5 new people were necessary to the story. 5 new people like at the end. I was like, okay, I don't know who the heck this person is and why are they like in this story and it's about to end. Sometimes I get a little bit fatigued when books do that, when they introduce new people, but it all tied in and it all came together. I think that the length was really good too. I liked that it had multiple different perspectives. I liked that even they included the small part of the lawyer who introduced the children to the mother's story and how he even had emotions about her. Everyone in this book was a little bit lost, and I think that was what made your connection to them so powerful. Anyway, my initial feeling of Black Cake, I want to give it the 4, but the fact that I've given out so many 4s recently is making me hesitant. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was such a well put together story, and this is also on par with my other 4, so I think I'm just gonna give it the 4 officially. This video is definitely gonna be up late, but I have other channels, other things. I'm currently about to go on a trip to the Grand Canyon today, so maybe I'll have like a little vlog or something of me in the Grand Canyon. Who knows? I don't. Anyway, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day it is, I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, or night.